Now on KGW News.
Look, boy. He's a good boy.
A happy reunion for a dog who found himself stranded on a cliff for over a week.
There's a lot of panic and anxiety that I have that I never had before.
They were attacked on a public beach in Portland. Why this couple now says the city could have prevented it.
And the Portland food carts, kicked out of one of the largest pods downtown, will soon have a new home. Your news starts now.
Is this a good use of your transportation dollars? I am outraged.
First at 11 tonight, a Portland City Commissioner blasts the Oregon Department of Transportation for using those giant boulders to keep homeless campers out. Thank you for joining us. I'm Laurel Porter.
And I'm Dan Haggerty. We first reported on this new tactic from ODOT last month. Tonight, Commissioner Joanne Hardesty is calling it a waste of money.
KGW's Mike Benner is live in Southwest Portland with more details. Mike?
Well, Laurel, simply put, Joanne Hardesty is not a fan of the boulders you see here at Southwest 14th and Montgomery and the boulders elsewhere around the city. She says it hurts a very vulnerable population. More from her in a moment. First, though, some background on these boulders. They've been dropped onto ODOT properties throughout Portland. And what this does is deter homeless camping. As you might imagine, neighbors who live near some of these sites are relieved. They were tired of the tents, the trash, and human waste, among other things. Others, though, believe ODOT's use of these giant boulders is too aggressive. You can count Portland City Commissioner Joanne Hardesty among them. She posted a video message on YouTube earlier this evening. Take a listen.
I am outraged that we're using public money to displace people that we cannot provide housing for. ODOT, how about providing some tents? How about some tiny houses, right? How about working with the community to help us solve our houseless problem?
All right, we can tell you Hardesty is urging people to contact ODOT to complain about the boulders. For what it's worth, we did reach out to ODOT for comment. They have not gotten back to us. But in the past, they said they plan to spend upwards of $1 million to get the boulders in place. They called it an effective tool and cheaper than continually cleaning up illegal homeless camps. Let's send it back to you.
Thank you, Mike, and we want to know what you think about the boulders. You can vote in our viewer voice poll now by going to kgw.com/vote or by clicking the viewer voice tab on your KGW app. We'll reveal the results later in the show.
New tonight, police have arrested a man accused of stealing cars by towing them away. Prosecutors say he's committed crimes almost every day for the last year. This is Carlos Lopez Torres. According to court documents, Torres would pick up the cars under the company name Carlos Towing. Then investigators say he would remove and sell the catalytic converter. Then take the car to Metro Metals salvage yard and get paid for it. Police say he sold more than 300 vehicles over the past year and was paid over $86,000. Investigators believe he stole most of those cars while they were parked throughout the Portland and Vancouver area. Torres faces multiple charges now and is set to appear in court tomorrow.
I shouldn't have to question every person I come in contact with. And it's terrible. It's an awful thing to live with.
A Portland couple attacked on a public beach doesn't feel safe in the city anymore. They are now suing the city because of it. They say police knew the man who attacked them was a problem and they didn't do enough to stop him. KGW's Devin Haskins sat down with the couple today.
2 years later, the pain is still there.
It's awful. Unfortunately, there's a lot of panic and anxiety that I have that I never had before.
Andrew and Kelly Corrado wanted to enjoy a day at the city's newest beach. When they showed up, police told them to keep clear of an abrasive couple that they had received calls about. The Corrados went and found a spot near Poets Beach and came in contact with this man, Jonathan Rance, a known transient living in a tent nearby.
He came down and just said, hey, I noticed your dog's off leash. Ours is pretty protective, so if you can just keep him down by the water with you, that'd be great.
A couple hours later, Rance became agitated and took his anger out on Andrew first. Backing Andrew into the water past his knees, he struck him in the shoulder with a baton and started throwing rocks at him. And then things turned even more violent.
Kel went over to say something to him or to get him to calm down, and he lifted her up with both hands and chucked her about 10 feet onto the rocks.
With Andrew in the water, Rance went after Kelly, splitting her head open with a baton. What's going through her mind at that moment is unimaginable.
that I was the only person in the world, that there was nobody there, and that he was going to kill me. That I was going to die.
She screamed and eventually Rance ran off. The lawsuit filed in federal court says the city should have done more to protect them. The couple says the police knew about the problems with Rance and did nothing to remove him from the area. Now the Corrados want change.
The status quo isn't okay. Change right now is what needs to happen, and Portland doesn't need more bike paths and garbage cans in downtown Portland. Portland needs, I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what the answer is, but not coming up with an answer isn't an option.
That was Devin Haskins reporting. Portland police wouldn't comment on this case. We haven't heard back from the mayor's office yet. The couple is seeking $1 million in damages.
We have some new information tonight on this group of kittens dumped off with debris in McMinnville. The 4 cats were left at an illegal dump site along with some construction trash. A sheriff's deputy found them and took them to Homeward Bound Pet Shelter. And today we've learned this man, 47-year-old Samuel Banks, was arrested and accused of abandoning those kittens.
Now to a very happy update on the story we brought you last night. It's about this mystery dog rescued from a dangerous hillside after being stranded there for a whole week.
Tonight, that dog is back with his rightful owner, and KGW's Catherine Cook is just back from Canby, where you got to meet both of them.
I didn't, guys. The dog hadn't wandered far from his house. He was just in the worst possible spot. His owner thought she'd never see him again. She's grateful to everyone who helped rescue Chase.
You're a good pupper.
His name is Chase, but right now,
Oh, yeah, I see. He's hurt.
he's more of a speed walker.
He's not even running.
Understandable after the last week.
He went out to use the bathroom and he never came home.
That was July 8th. Chase would spend the next 7 days stranded on this Canby hillside, surrounded by blackberries and poison oak. Neighbors heard him crying and called the Oregon Humane Society. On Monday, their technical animal rescue team rappelled down and rescued the Australian Shepherd.
This is why we're here. This is what we train for all year long, is calls like this.
For those people to go the extra mile knowing that they're going into poison oak and poison ivy and the berry bushes and all that, you know, that's just remarkable.
Chase went to Clackamas County Dog Services. He wasn't licensed or chipped, so they almost put him up for adoption.
There's a mystery now.
Then Karen caught our story on the mystery dog.
When I saw your cast, it was on Tuesday. And now we got him and we're excited.
Chase is licensed now. Next week, he'll get microchipped. Karen hopes others do the same for their pets.
Well, they can learn from me because, you know, my dog never got out. Never did that, never ran away.
Now,
come on, are you going to scold that face?
He's home.
I have a good feeling that he's not going to return to the Clift area. Look, boy.
Well, let's hope not. Chase will be getting his microchip for free on Saturday, July 27th. That's when Clackamas County will put on its monthly microchipping clinic with Good Neighbor Vet. And we'll post more about that on KGW.com because it's a great thing. You just never know when you're going to need it.
Little guys seem to be doing okay. They seem fine to you after spending a week on that cliff.
Yeah, funny, the owner says that he was really overweight at the beginning, and the vet said that he's still overweight now, but lost about 8 pounds. So,
well, like she said, how can you scold a face like
that?
Oh, it was cute.
So cute.
Glad he's back home. Thank you, Catherine.
Thanks, Catherine. So we have some big news to tell you about. We're talking about the food carts that were booted from downtown Portland, the pod they had down there to make way for a high-rise hotel, putting in a Ritz. The city has worked out now a new spot for some of them, and it's actually very close by. Take a look. The carts that used to be at 10th and Alder, they're now going to move to what's called Ankeny Square, which is just off Burnside across from the North Park blocks.
It presents a great opportunity not only to activate that space, meaning making sure we don't get vandalism down there and things like that, but like bring more people to that park to make it useful.
The nonprofit Friends of the Green Loop has been working with City Commissioner Chloe Eudaly to find a new spot for the pods. Infrastructure, things like plumbing and electricity still need to go in, so they don't quite have an opening date set yet. But there will be room for 30 carts on that square. The owner of Sumo Sushi has his cart right now parked at a post office. In the meantime, he says he is certainly ready to be back open as soon as possible.
It takes time for everybody to know where the new location is, but I'm excited for it, and I believe a lot of people will come.
Friends of the Green Loop hope this new pod is really just the beginning of a bigger culinary corridor park they're trying to get going throughout Portland right now.
And now to a story that's been getting a lot of attention with Portland neighborhood associations. It's a proposed change to city code. It would eliminate the word neighborhood association from the code. Some say by doing so, it would change the way the city works with those associations. Others say it's an effort to include more voices.
By not giving us a recognized seat at the table, I feel it does water down what we can do.
It looks as though there's some positives reflected in there. There's aspirations toward greater inclusion, involvement, more participation in terms of civic engagement. I think those are all commendable things to have in the code.
City Commissioner Chloe Eudaly released this statement on her Facebook page saying there is misinformation out there and they have no plans to dismantle the neighborhood association system. A meeting is scheduled for 5:30 tomorrow evening for the City Council to decide on the issue.
When we come back, have you taken the FaceApp challenge? If so, you might have seen some of the warnings out there that Russia now owns your image. Our Verify team looks into the claims.
I'm Matt Safino. We are facing some showers right now, and we had some breaks in the clouds right before sunset. That was nice, but you know what? There is a whole lot of sun in the 7-day forecast in spite of what you saw today. We've got to get through some showers tonight. I'll let you know when the warm-up will begin.